We are going to be factoring quadratics. So our biggest exponent will be a what? If it's a quadratic.
4. 2.
2. Our biggest exponent will be a 2 if it's a quadratic. I'm going to show you today the 5-step method to factoring by hand. Okay? So we're going to start with standard form of a quadratic, remember, is ax squared plus bx plus c. Ax squared plus bx plus c. All right. So our 5 steps to factor, example 1. Example 1, I've got 4p squared plus 7p plus 3. So the first thing I'm going to do is identify what are A, B, and C in this expression. All right, notice A is the coefficient of x squared, right? So here instead of x, I have p. What's the coefficient of p squared? Nope.
4.
Coefficient, not the exponent, the coefficient, right? Is 4. So my A value is 4. What is the coefficient of P? 7. So B is 7. And then my constant term, the number all by itself, is 3. So C is 3. All right. So step 1, you ready? Step 1. Step 1, we're going to multiply A times C. Step 1, multiply A times C. So here A is 4. C is 3. 4 times 3 is 12. All right. Step 2. You ready? That was it to step 1. All you got to do is multiply. Step 2. It says list the factor of A times C. That really should have said list the pairs of factors. Now I want to know the pairs. So, well, does 1 go into 12? Because I'm always going to start all the way at the bottom. Does 1 go into 12? Yeah, so I've got, I could do that in blue. Okay. 1 times 12. What about negative 1? Negative 12, right? All right, Xavier, what about 2? Does 2 go into 12?
Yeah.
How many times? What's 12 divided by 2? Nope. What's 12 divided by 2? You got this. 6, beautiful. And negative 2 goes into 12. Negative 6 times, right? What about 3? How many times does 3 go into 12? 4. And negative 3? Negative 4, right? Can y'all think of any other pairs? Those are my only pairs. All right. Step 3. I'm going to look at my list that I just made, and I want to know, do any of those add up to my B value? What is B?
7.
7. So remember, our B value this time is 7. So do any of these add up to 7?
Yes.
Which 2? 3 plus 4, right? So 3, well, negative 3 plus negative 4 would be negative 7, right? So 3 plus 4 is 7.
We just only have to pick one, not just one?
Only one will work.
What if the factor is, what if there is none?
Then it does not factor. Good question. Do you mind if I repeat that question, Jaden? You guys. Ladies. Jaden said, what if none of these factors added up to my b term? So, for example, what if I said b was 5? We couldn't factor it. Then the answer would be cannot factor. That would be your answer. Is that okay? All right. So, step 4, you ready? Can I scoot this up some?
Yes.
Step 4, we're going to start out by writing the factors using those two numbers we just found. You ready? You ready? Lena, you ready? Yeah. All right, so I've got x plus 3 times x plus 4. Right? But those couldn't possibly be the factors. Because, look, even if I just did the last two, 3 times 4, does that give me 3? 3 times 4 is what? 12. 3 times 4 does not give me 3, it gives me 12. So those don't work, right? So we have one more step. We're going to divide each constant term by a and simplify. All right, so I'm going to divide each constant term by a and simplify. You ready for that? Yeah, yeah. All right. I'm going to scoot up we can all see. So I'm going to say x plus 3, x plus 4, but I'm going to divide by a. What was my a? What was a?
4.
4. So 3 divided by 4, 4 divided by 4. So each constant term, the 3 and the 4, get divided by a. We're going to simplify. You ready? So now, x plus 3 over 4. Does 3 over 4 reduce or simplify? No. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take that denominator, 4, and write it out front. I'm going to have 4x plus 3. What about the second? 4 divided by 4 is 1. So that's going to be x plus 1. Is that okay, Caitlin? Because 4 divided by 4 is 1. That's it. So I want to double check my work. So I'm going to multiply back 4x plus 3 times x plus 1. So 4x plus 3 times x plus 1. I'm going to check my answer before I say that's my answer. You ready, Jaden? All right. So first, 4x times x. 4x squared, right? 4x times 1. 3x times x. Beautiful. No, just 1x, right? There's just 1x there. So 3x. And finally, 3 times 1. Do I have any like terms I can combine?
Yes.
4x and 3x is
7x plus 3 plus 4x.
Is that what we started with?
No.
So that's our answer. So 4x plus 3 times x plus 1 is our answer. Is that okay? All right, let's try again. Let's try another. You ready? You ready, Marcus? Yeah? I need to wait, Jules? I can pause. Example 2. Example 2 says 3x squared plus 4x. I'm going to make a change here. I want it to say minus 15. I apologize for my typo. Thank you. 3x squared plus 4x minus 15.
Step 1.
You doing okay back here?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready, Caitlin? All right. So the first thing I want to do, I want to identify my A, B, and C values. So what's A? Ah, it's just the number. 3. Good job. What's the B value? 4. And what's the C value?
15.
Negative 15. Very good. Because remember the standard form I gave you, they were all pluses, right? They were all positive. So if we have a minus, then that means that term is negative. Good. All right, step 1. A times C, that's 3 times negative 15, which is negative 45. Beautiful. Step 2. We're going to list all of the pairs of factors of negative 45 so that we can find that b value 4, right? Okay. So negative 45, that's negative 1 and 45. 1 and negative 45. Does 2 go into 45? No. Does 3 go into 45? Probably. How many times? 15. Oh, because that's what we had, right? So negative 3 times 15. 3 times negative 15. Does 4 go into 45? No. Does 5 go into 45? Negative 5 goes into 45 9 times. 5. Negative 9.
Like, see, this, like, do we have to do this every time?
Ah, yes. But keep in mind, what am I looking for in step 3? To give us B, to give us 4, right? So do I have any more factors, ladies? No more factors? So step 3, which factors add up to positive 4? Negative 5 plus 9, right?
Yeah.
Negative 5 plus 9 is 4. So step 4, I'm going to use those two factors. You ready?
Yes.
So I have x minus 5, x plus 9. All right. Finally, step 5. Step 5, we're going to divide both. I'm going to divide both constants by a. What was my a?
3.
3. So I'm going to divide negative 5 divided by 3, positive 9 divided by 3. Right? So 5 divided by 3, does that simplify? Does that reduce? No, so the 3 goes out front. So I'm going to have 3x minus 5. So this is step 5. And then 9 divided by 3, does that reduce?
Yes.
X plus 3.
Wait, why don't we change that?
Negative 5 over 9. Because we're dividing, you should be dividing by that a value, 3. All right. I'm going to check my work just to make sure. So to check, we're going to multiply back. So 3x minus 5 times x plus 3. So 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times 3,
9 squared.
9x. 9x, you got it. Negative 5 times x.
Negative 5x.
Beautiful. And negative 5 times 3.
Negative 15.
Perfect. Negative 50, because a negative times a positive is a negative. And then 9 minus 5.
Minus 3x.
Positive 4, right? 9 without 5 is 4. Does that match our problem?
Yes. It does.
So we're correct. So this is our answer. It's some steps. Like I said, though, after some practice, you guys will start to see some of the shortcuts. All right, let's try another one. You ready? Oh. Look at example 3. Oh. X squared plus 8x plus 15. X squared plus 8x plus 15. You ready? You ready? All right, so first, what are the values of A, B, and C? Ooh, A is 1, very good. What's B?
8.
And C is 15. So first, we're going to say A times C is 1 times 15, which is 15. So next, I'm going to make a list of all the factors of 15. You ready?
Yes.
So I have 1 times 15. Do I need to do the negatives?
No.
Why not?
Negative.
Because B is positive, right? B is positive, so I know that I won't need the negatives. All right, 2 doesn't go into 15. What about 3? 3 times 15. There we go, much better. Anything else? Hey, no, those are the only 2 factors, right? Is that better, Amy? Look at that, 2 factors. That's all we can. That's all you can write. Well, we could do 4 because we could do the negative factors also. All right, so now step 3. Which 2 factors add up to positive 8? 3. Sure. Yes, you're going to. We're going to put A underneath. All right, so step 4, I'm going to write my factors. You ready, Xavier? So I've got x plus 3, x plus 5. Ready? Finally, I'm going to divide by what? 1. So 3 divided by 1, 5 divided by 1. So 3 divided by 1 is x plus 3. 5 divided by 1 is x plus 5. Finally, I should check my work before I decide that's my answer, right? So I've got x plus 3 times x plus 5. So x times x is x squared. X times 5 is 5x. 3 times 5 is 15. We're going to do that one last. 3 times x is 3x. And then 3 times 5 is 15. And then I can combine 5x plus 3x is 8x. Does that match our problem? Yes.
Why do we have squared?
X squared plus 8x plus 15. There we go. All right. Example 4, y'all ready? Example 4. Example 4. I was going to write example 3. Example 4, I've got x squared minus x minus 6. I want you guys to try this one. All right, let's check number 4. Check number 4. So the first thing I want to do, I want to list A, B, and C, right?
Yeah.
I don't, I'm sorry. A is what? 1. B is -1. C is -6. Now let's do the pledge. So we listed our A, B, and C values up here. Eyes up here. Ladies. A, B, and C values. First step is to multiply A times C. What's A times C? Because 1 times -6 is -6. Robin, you ready for the next step?
No.
I'm going to help you. We've got to list all of the factors of -6. So what goes into -6? -1, how many times? 6 times. +1 goes into 6, how many times? -6 times. All right, 2 goes into 6, how many times? -3. So then -2 goes into 6, +3. See, 4 doesn't go into 6, 5 doesn't go into 6, and we've already got 6 goes into 6, right? So then next, step 3.
Why did you have to circle one of those?
Yes, step 3. Which of these add up to my B value? So first, what is the B value? -1. So which of these add up to -1? See, if I add these, that gives me 5. -5. There we go. We've got -1. So 2 minus 3, right? So 2 plus a -3 is -1. So step 4. What are my factors, Emmanuel? Can you help me out? What am I going to write? If 2 and -3 are my factors for -6, what are my binomial factors?
X plus
Beautiful.
close plus X negative.
-3, you got it. All right. Step 5, we're going to divide by A. What's A? +1, right? So 2 divided by 1, -3 divided by 1. So step 5, what is 2 divided by 1? 2. -3 divided by 1? X minus 3.
I should start making these like color coded and like.
That would be a good idea.